Good, everybody? What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, and today we are reacting to a Black Hokage video, the dark physiology of NBA 2K. I probably said it wrong. I don't care. If you're new to the channel and haven't hit that sub button, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We on the road to 1,300 subs. I didn't buy 2K this year. I already knew 2K was going to be bad. I already know 2K was going to be bad, and it'd be taxing. It'd be at least $100 a mod player, and after the next season you probably can't use that mod player no more because they probably patched it. Now you can't use it. Then all these other people saying I suck, and they're using the same exact mod player. Like every time I go to the city, there'll be like about like out of 100 mod players, there'll be like 60 of the same mod player, and that's whack. That's whack, bro. It's whack. The audacity of those people saying that I'm garbage, but you went on YouTube to find a build, you're whack. But hey, hit that subscribe button. Let's get into it, man.
2K22 alone.
Okay, 22.
I remember this one.
Yeah, 2K22, yeah, 22.
Okay, how
So
much?
2K22, I added up all of my purchases, and really only added up the $100 purchases.
So you didn't even go like the little baby one.
I didn't do the 20s, the 50s, the none of that. And it came out to be like throughout the whole year, from the day the game dropped to the next game, I spent 25K.
Ooh.
See, and that's the problem. That's the whole problem right there. You gotta spend that much money, even though he's a content creator and shit like that. Obviously, 25,000. It's crazy. It's crazy.
At what point does
It's
a video crazy.
crazy.
Stop being entertainment
It's
and
crazy.
start becoming exploitation?
It's
Approaching
crazy.
this differently when you look
Come
at what
on.
NBA 2K
It's
has
crazy.
become. It's no longer just a basketball simulation. It's a psychological manipulation machine dressed up in NBA jerseys. Today I'm going to take you behind the curtain.
It's
to show you
crazy, bro.
exactly how NBA 2K
Got
has
away from
applied
that shit.
decades of behavioral psychology research to their game design. You'll see how they create artificial pain points, manufacture social pressure, and exploit your FOMO to keep you spending season after season. And once you recognize these techniques, you'll start seeing them everywhere. So ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you.
With Asana,
Damn, my ad already. That's
are here to
crazy.
help level
You only a
up your
minute
goals.
into this shit.
Try it for free.
2. The dark psychology of NBA 2K.
NBA 2K. I didn't buy 2K. I'm so proud of myself.
You know, there was a point
So
where
proud of
NBA
myself.
2K's main concern was just creating a fun experience for their players, but as times have changed, so
That's
did
right.
the game. It started off with the slow introduction of VC in 2012's NBA 2K13.
Word.
I remember reviewing this game because I remember saying in my review, don't buy VC because it's a slippery slope. You give people an inch and
Yeah,
they'll
they're gonna
take
take
a
a
mile.
mile.
I recall
Facts.
people in my comments as well as 2K
remember that.
YouTubers calling me stupid and broke, and here we are all these years later paying for it. I mean, literally paying for it. According to this GameFAQs forum post I found from 12 years ago on NBA 2K13, it costs 75 to 125,000 VC to max a player to 99 overall. 75,000 VC is $20 in NBA 2K25 for those
That's
of you
valid.
unaware. Now compare that
20
to today,
20
where it costs
$20 for a mod player. That's valid. But $100, 100 for a mod player, and you're not even 99. You're just gonna be 85 overall. You still gotta unlock the caps, but 85 overall. Bro. It's crazy, bro.
325,000 VC to max a player, which is almost $100. Adding the fact that most of you
Wait,
are
hold on.
creating 1,000 VC for those of you unaware. Now compare that to today, where it costs 325,000 VC to max
325,000 VC. Thank God I
a
didn't play
player,
that
which
game.
is almost
I'm not playing
$100. Adding the fact that
100
most of
bucks,
you
though.
are creating several builds annually, and you can see how you're spending so much money. Since
Exactly.
the inception of VC, 2K has implemented things designed to nickel and dime you, such as My Team, the city, and season passes. But for now, I want to focus on my career. Have you ever noticed how your My Player in 2K moves like they're playing in cement shoes at the start of every new season? That isn't by accident. It's actually calculated. Your 60 overall rookie missing wide open layups isn't bad luck. It's just business. 2K intentionally cripples your player stats to create that exact frustration you feel when your big man can't grab a rebound over someone who's smaller than them. And I can break it down how it all works. See, there's specific stat thresholds where the game suddenly feels playable versus completely broken. For guards, you need at least a 70 ball handling before you stop dribbling like a middle schooler. For big man, you can't properly box out until your strength hits 75. These aren't random
crazy.
numbers. They're carefully placed pain points designed to make you feel the difference between playing for free and paying for an upgrade. We live in an
But also, you gotta get to that point to get those badges to have that
Age of
advantage
instant
too.
gratification. So the game literally programs incompetence into your player until you cough up VC. Now compare that to how actual basketball progression works in real life, and it
But
doesn't.
it does take mad long to get VC. Like you can get like what about 1,000 VC a game, but to upgrade your 3-pointer from probably 85 to 86 would probably be like 10,000 VC.
Make
It's
any
just crazy.
sense, especially considering
crazy.
the fact this game calls itself the realest basketball sim on the market, when in actuality you're just the only one on the market. See, in real life, you get better by practicing. Your jumper improves through repetition. Your handles tighten up from
I'm not
hours
gonna
in the
skip no
gym.
more,
But
though. I'm not
2K
gonna pause
flips
no
that
more.
on its head completely. You can green every shot in practice with perfect timing, but your 65 3-point rating means those same releases will brick in real game. They've disconnected skill from result, and this makes you frustrated while the investors over at Take-Two Interactive are sitting comfortably like,
Tell them to bring me my money.
the player testimonies tell the same story every year. It's not uncommon to hear things such as, I spent 3 hours grinding my career games just to afford one attribute upgrade,
One.
or my center gets out-rebounded by small forwards because I didn't buy VC. These
No
aren't
cap.
isolated complaints. They're a direct result of a system engineered to make the $70 experience more painful than just $70. 2K knows exactly what they're doing when they make your 6'10" power forward move like he's wearing ankle weights. And what's wild is how this mirrors psychological models used in other industries. It's the same principle as free trials that intentionally limit functionality until you pay. They create artificial frustration and then position microtransactions as the solution. Now, to be fair, 2K didn't invent this, but they damn for sure perfected it for basketball games. Your My Player
Yeah, they
isn't
did.
weak because that's
did,
realistic
though.
for a rookie. They're weak because weakness creates that itch that VC scratches. It's funny too, because this company claims to have the most authentic basketball experience on the market.
only
The
one.
stats prove this isn't about realism either. A 60 overall in 2K performs worse than most G League players, while real NBA rookies come in around a 70, 75 overall if you check their in-game stats. I mean, they could make the starting point higher, but then where's the incentive to spend? That initial grind isn't about difficulty. It's a monetization speed bump disguised as progression.
But you can say that though. But in the older 2Ks, when they first started my player, you was a 55 overall too. You was a 55 overall, and you had to work your way up. But you could at least do something with the 55.
Any new
You can't-
player's first hours in my
you can do
career,
something
they'll be
with it.
missing point-blank layups, get stripped on every drive, and
Do you really want to spend the rest of your life watching ads? Guys, just download
I'm not
Live.
paying for
It's a free
premium.
Google Chrome extension, and it basically
foul
Until
out
YouTube
trying to
pays
play
me.
defense. Then the same player drops $20 on VC and suddenly their guy can actually compete. And just know that night and day difference isn't organic. It's the exact moment 2K's psychological trap springs shut on you. You're not paying to get ahead. You're paying to reach what should have been the baseline in the first place. This becomes especially obvious when you look at how other sports games handle progression. MLB The Show's Road to the Show mode doesn't make your rookie pitcher throw 25-mile-per-hour fastballs. FIFA's career mode doesn't have your striker tripping over the ball constantly. Those games let skill determine success early on. And then you have
That's
My
facts.
Team. The My Team mode uses various psychological and structure strategies meant to motivate users to buy card packs. These tactics are meant to generate urgency, exclusivity, and reward expectations, hence enticing gamers to spend actual money. These are the main ways My Team tricks users into spending more. My Team is all about assembling your ideal team to compete online versus other gamers. You can earn cards from just playing the game, but the trouble is, it's a pain in the ass. All it takes is being washed once online by someone with rare cards to have you persuaded into buying one of their card packs. It's the reason
That's
I didn't
facts.
play this mode. I tried it once and I got tilted at the fact that everyone that I played against is a demigod for simply $29.99. In My Team,
Facts.
card packs function like loot boxes. Players buy for a shot in acquiring uncommon or high value cards. These packs randomize character plays on the gambler's fallacy, with players thinking that if they keep buying packs, luck will eventually favor them. But the crazy part is that
Don't.
players might still get low tier cards even after paying a bunch of money, which would be annoying and encourage more spending in search of improved outcomes. And to add insult to injury, newly issued cards
that's
get
realistic
far more
trading
powerful
cards,
than
though.
older ones over time, therefore
That's
making
true,
past
too.
purchases less useful. Players are secretly pushed by this power creep to always purchase fresh packs to stay competitive. And it also doesn't help that players are constantly faced with intense social pressure.
Yup. Everybody getting 2K, you're not getting it.
NBA
You
2K
idiot.
is the most sophisticated peer pressure machine ever designed. That cool social hub where players are running around, yeah, that isn't for immersion. It's a carefully constructed environment where every element pushes you towards spending more money. From the moment you spawn in, you are bombarded with visual proof of what money can buy. This basketball game has turned into Barbie for boys. It's nothing but elite players flexing expensive animations, rare outfits, and maxed out builds that make your 60 overall brown shirt feel like literal shit. You can be in Discord with the boys, right? And when you say, hey, let's get some games in, you'll pull up in that brown shirt, and then all of a sudden, all your friends say they can't play with you
for about 45 minutes.
The placement of everything in the city follows a clear psychological blueprint. Stores aren't tucked away in some menu like in the old NBA 2Ks. They're now physical locations you have to constantly walk past. And the main court seems to always be in the center of the map, which is also always packed with the highest level players showing off their expensive clothes and animations.
That's another thing too. When I play by myself, bro, you know, I don't be playing the city like that. So they go to, as soon as somebody goes next to you, they pull out their phone, check your record out, then they walk away.
The players' names and overalls float above their heads serves as a purpose. It turns every interaction into a status comparison. You can't walk 5 virtual feet without being reminded that you ain't nothing but a broke boy. This taps into what psychologists call conspicuous consumption. That's basically the human tendency to display wealth through visible purchases. In real life, this manifests as luxury cars or designer clothes. In 2K, it's Galaxy Opal cards in my team or exclusive sneakers that cost $20 in VC. The game makes sure these status symbols are impossible to miss. You know that player that's sitting in the park for several hours who hasn't played a single game, just sitting on a server, causing lag because you know these servers are held together with bubblegum and toothpicks. They're basically just aura farming with mama's money. But what they fail to realize is that they're just walking advertisements showing hundreds of other players what they're missing. New players get it the worst. Imagine loading in for the first time with your basic character, only to immediately see a squad of 99 overall players with matching.
That's why I like Rookieville. So I like Rookieville. You could just go in, anybody gonna play with you. It don't matter.
Premium celebrations. And they're not necessarily better at the game than you. They're just invested. And the message is clear. This is what success looks like in this game. That unspoken pressure to spend creeps in fast for new players. Players have reported feeling embarrassed taking their low-rated builds to the park, knowing they'll get outplayed not just by skill, but by wallet size. The layout of the city in recent 2K versions has taken this even further. Unlike the older neighborhood designs where activities were actually spread out, everything is now clustered together. You can't go to the gym without passing the VC store or seeing Gatorade plastered everywhere. And you can't check your stats without seeing banner ads for limited time bundles. Even the placement of the NPCs in the city matter. Most of you have probably not noticed this, but they'll comment on your gear, your rep level, anything to highlight that you have not spent money and subconsciously fool you into doing it. It is social engineering disguised as world building. Player testimonies tell the same story over and over. I only bought the neon arm sleeves because everyone at the park had them. My friends had special dribbling moves, so I had to get some too so I didn't feel left out. These aren't isolated cases either. They're the intended result of a system built to exploit our fear of standing out in the wrong way. The pressure isn't just about performance either. Even pure cosmetic items become must-have when you're the only one without them. This mirrors real-world marketing tactics used by luxury brands and social media platforms. Instagram makes people feel like their lives should look more curated. 2K makes players feel like their virtual athletes should look more expensive. Both create artificial standards that drive more spending. The difference is, on Instagram, you can just log off. In 2K, stepping away means missing out on events, rewards, and social connections tied specifically to that space. That's why I called it Barbie for Boys.
A real Barbie? No, I mean, maybe like a little.
The most insidious part is how this game turns its players into its own sales force. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You've been working for free at 2K and you didn't even know it. You know that dude flexing his $50 virtual off-whites? That's free advertisement. And the squad doing choreography dances like NSYNC outside of the rec, yeah, those are walking billboards. 2K doesn't need to hard sell VC to you when thousands, if not millions of players do it for them by just existing in the space. Every time someone sees a cool item they can't afford, that's another nudge towards opening their wallet. I mean, this clip going viral on Twitter is a perfect example of it.
On the scene screaming bleep, say you bout it, let me see. Rep your hood, let me see.
Then you have YouTubers and streamers who play into this as well,
Oh my
spending hundreds of
gosh.
thousands of dollars annually on digital card packs that they can't use next year just so they can scream and be fake excited in their YouTube videos. This normalizes
cap.
irrational spending habits to their young audience. I'd imagine most are just doing this because they know it gets views, but whether they intentionally
get
know
their
it or
money
not,
back,
these
but-
creators are acting as marketing budget for the corporation. And the worst kind are the ones who are aware of what they're pushing to their young
And they
audience,
still do
but
it.
They don't care because they're getting paid.
They're getting paid. And he's the king of it. Cash Nasty is the king of it, man. He's the person that I always see buy the shit, bro. And he would get tight and still buy it.
Even the matchmaking plays into this. The game could pair you with more similarly rated players, but often it throws you against stacked teams instead. Getting cooked by someone who bought their way to elite status isn't just frustrating, it's motivation,
Swag,
and
bro.
the implied solution is always the same. Spend more of your hard-earned money. Or the alternative is slowly grinding against paid players, which feels designed to break your patience. And this is what fuels the FOMO factory. That timer ticking down on NBA 2K's limited time events isn't just measuring hours, it's measuring how long until your willpower cracks. These exclusive weekend tournaments and rare item drops aren't about celebrating basketball. They're psychological traps dressed up as special occasions. 2K didn't invent FOMO, but they perfected its use in sports games to the point where missing an event feels like failing a test you didn't know you were taking. Take the season pass structure as Exhibit A. Every 6 weeks, the
That's one thing too. Like that's one thing that I stopped playing Call of
Of course they
Duty
take
for. Like,
Discover. You're stuck in the
that
past.
season pass, bro, makes it feel like you have to play the game every day, or you're gonna fall behind. That makes the game
forever
whack,
if you
bro.
didn't grind enough. That cool jersey, it disappeared into the digital void.
I
The
really
game
believe.
constantly reminds you of what you're missing out on, with pop-up notifications showing other players rocking items you'll never get another shot at. It creates this nagging anxiety that if you take a break, you're gonna fall behind permanently. And the brain
There's no
science
point.
behind this is wild. Studies show that scarcity triggers the same neural pathways as physical threats. Your brain literally processes missing out like getting physically attacked. 2K exploits this by making every limited item feel like it's your last chance. That 48 hours left banner
That
is
battle
not there
pass.
to be helpful. It's a countdown to you panic spending. This is why every time you get on the game, that one friend always has something new to show off. They've been manipulated into believing they need to spend money. My team takes this to an entirely different level. For those unaware, their pack drops follow casino psychology. They got limited time events with Galaxy Opal cards that have a 0.1 pull rate and flash auctions where top cards disappear in hours. The mode's entire economy runs on artificial scarcity. They could easily make all of these cards available all the time because they're digital, but then where's the fun in that? They'd rather scare you into buying card packs. I've seen people say they've
Got
spent
'em.
hundreds of dollars chasing a specific rare card before the timer ran out, only for that card to be remade available.
But
a
that's the
couple
same in like real life and Pokemon cards, bro. Like the Charizards and all that crazy shit, bro. Like it's the same shit, but it's just digital.
weeks later. Now, I don't know about you, but I'd be pissed.
Then they try to do that with NFTs, but it's like, bro, come on.
Even the event scheduling is equally manipulative. I mean, have you ever noticed big drops always seem to hit right around payday? They also have holiday events, which sync up with times when people have more free time and more holiday money to spend. Even the daily login bonuses use progressive timers. If you miss one day, it's gonna reset your whole streak and you might miss some cool items. It's all designed to make stepping away feel costly. Players talk about setting alarms at 2 a.m. just to claim limited items before they vanish. That's not engagement. That's digital Stockholm syndrome. And social media amplifies the pressure tenfold. 2K's Twitter is flooding your feed with clips of players hitting game winners and exclusive shoes that you can't even buy anymore. Their Instagram shows off rare animations only available for that one specific weekend. And the worst part is that the community plays into this BS. You'll find Reddit threads filled with titles like Flex Your Season 3 reward posts that turn achievements into public shaming for anyone who happened to skip that season. But I believe the Battle Pass system might be the sneakiest thing that they've implemented into their $70 game in a recent memory. Each tier
Battle
shows
Pass is
exactly
crazy.
what you've missed if you don't keep
Hated
grinding.
that
That
shit.
95% complete bar haunts players into buying level skips at the last minute. I've seen people admit spending $40 just to finish a pass they didn't even want just because seeing it unfinished bothered them. That's not rational. It's psychological warfare. But the worst part about the Battle Pass is the fact that there's 8 seasons in each game. There's 2 tiers for the Battle Pass
8
at $10 and $20.
seasons?
So if you want to get the full NBA 2K experience, it's gonna cost you $70 for the game and $160 for all the battle pass content. Mind you, we haven't even added in the cost of VC bundles if you want to make multiple builds. Then you have limited time gameplay modes that follow the same blueprint. Double XP weekends condition players to avoid grinding only during normal days. Bonus VC events teach you that playing off-peak means you're wasting your time. Even the neighborhood's decorations change constantly to visually reinforce what season you're in and what you're missing. The entire game world becomes a FOMO calendar. And the neuroscience explains why this works so well. Each limited item triggers a mini crisis in your brain. Potential loss registers more strongly than potential gain. 2K bombards you with these micro crises until spending feels like self-defense. That last chance warning isn't there to inform you, it's triggering your loss aversion instincts, and it's a big reason as to why you can't stop buying VC.
I stopped. I stopped. I stopped. Trust me, I stopped.
That $50 you spent on VC last season wasn't just a purchase, it was the first domino in a psychological trap that makes each purchase feel inevitable. This is the sunken cost fallacy in action, and NBA 2K has weaponized it better than most Vegas casinos. This game conditions you to think I've already spent this
So last night he used Hims. Honestly, nothing better than when a
much, so I might as well keep spending. And before you know it, you're broke and you're taking odd jobs speaking to kids about the dangers of addiction like,
that, children, was the first time I sucked it for crack. But it wouldn't be the last.
So let's break down how this all works in practice. Every September when the new 2K drops, you lose all your hard-earned attributes, but
From
you
the last
keep
one.
certain cosmetic items and badges. This isn't a mistake, it's by design. That partial reset creates just enough continuity to make you feel invested, while wiping the slate clean enough to force new spending. Your brain looks at those carried over items and it thinks, I've got a history here, and it ignores the fact that 90% of your progress just vanished. The game's counting on that emotional attachment to override your common sense. And the reminders are everywhere once you know where to look. The badge progress screen showing your accomplishment from previous years, that's when sunken cost triggers. The legacy tab tracking how many seasons you played, that's just a psychological anchor. All tools used to keep you hooked. That annual cycle will turn into this self-perpetuating machine, and each year the sunken cost grows heavier. Maybe you swore you wasn't gonna spend money this year, but then you remember all those hours grinding
Really
last
missed
year's
that
game.
one.
Or how about that $100 you dropped on the myteam card? Or what about your friends just pressuring you to play this year's game? The game knows the more you're invested
That's
in
the one right
previous
there.
versions, the more likely
Try to
you are
pressure me. I didn't get
justify
there.
spending just this one on the
I didn't
new
get
game.
there, not
Before you
once.
know it, you're 5 years deep into what's $1,000 plus invested, still telling yourself, next year I'll go cold turkey. My team mode takes this to another level entirely. Those card collections that partially carry over, they're designed to make you feel like quitting would waste all your past pulls. The collection rewards that require keeping cards you'll never use, here's sunken cost engineering. Players report keeping trash cards in their collection just to maintain completion
Instead of
percentage,
selling
and then
them.
feeling compelled to buy more packs just to finish what they started. And the numbers don't lie. Virtual currency sales grew 150% year over year in fiscal 2015, then another 71% by 2017.
Nah,
That's not
2K was getting
organic
so
growth.
much
That's
bread.
the snowball effect in action. As more players get deeper into the ecosystem, their tolerance for spending increases. What seemed outrageous in NBA 2K13 has now become routine by NBA 2K25. The game normalizes escalating investments by making each purchase feel like the logical next step in their journey. Basically, what I'm trying to say is 2K started with just giving you the tip, but now you're getting the full-blown giggity, giggity, giggity. Long-term players get hit the hardest by this. That dude who bought every 2K since 2K13 isn't just loyal, he's psychologically primed to keep spending. Each year's purchase justifies the next through sheer momentum. The game reinforces this by giving veteran players special cosmetics, free copies of the next game, or even a shrine in the next game, not to reward them, but to remind them how much they've already invested. It's like getting a gold star in kindergarten class, but not for being a good student, but a drone with no self-control. The real genius is how 2K makes the sunken cost fallacy feel like it's your own idea. Nobody forces you to buy VC. I mean, how many times have you heard that? I've seen the community manager Ronnie 2K say this to fans on Twitter who complain about the VC prices. The game instead just creates conditions where spending feels like the natural
But the
solution.
game isn't built to play without VC. Like, you can play the game, but it's gonna take so long for your my player to get good, or so long to get your my team good. Like,
problems it's
At least enough to
That
compete
My Player
with
who
other
can't
people
shoot
online.
already put 20 hours into them. I might as well buy the shooting upgrades. Or how about that My Team that's missing that one card? After all the packs I've opened, I deserve to complete the set. So the game turns your own psychology against you. The excessive spending has gotten so bad that it's inspired this skit my co-host and I produced on a TV show I used to host called X-Play.
Are you ready for this, man?
I'm ready. I got the clamps on. Let's go.
Yeah, we gonna see it's time for my Super Saiyan Euro step. The f, dude? Who are you?
Vince Carter.
I hate to break it to you, but Vince Carter's a little...
Go ahead. Say it.
Thin.
Thin, yeah.
Oh. That's not where I expected y'all to go with that, but it still hurts.
I think the better question is, why are you in our game?
You hadn't unlocked that layup yet.
You're joking, right?
No. You want that layup? That's gonna be $500, my friend.
I'm not your friend. And I'm not paying $500 for no damn layup package.
All right, you're lost.
Now compare this to how other sports games handle annual releases. MLB The Show lets you carry over progress between console generations. FIFA's Ultimate Team gives you loyalty rewards that don't pressure players to further spend. These games understand that respecting players' time and money leads to better long-term engagement. 2K takes the opposite approach. They bank on frustration and attachment to drive further revenue. And the scary part is how this escalates over time. Early purchases seem justifiable because, you know, it's just $20 here, $50 there, but each one raises your personal spending ceiling. That first $100 bundle feels outrageous until it starts to become the new normal. Players report looking back at year one spending with disbelief, only to realize they're now spending triple that amount without blinking. It's no different than a drug addict. That small dose of meth that used to get you high can quickly turn into an all-day habit because you're trying to chase that first high that you ever got. The only difference is you don't lose your teeth, your house, your family, your health, everything else in between. Bit of an extreme example, but you get the point. What a lot of you don't get though is 2K's pricing model. That VC counter at the top of your screen isn't just tracking currency, it's masking how much real money you're burning. The whole virtual economy is built on one simple trick: make prices feel abstract. When a pair of digital Jordans cost 15,000 VC instead of $15, your brain processes that transaction differently. Studies show people spend more when there's psychological distance between them and their cash, and 2K exploits this hard. One thing I do know they do is they make sure that that math doesn't add up on purpose. VC bundles come in awkward amounts like 75,000 or 200,000, while item prices end up in random numbers like 12,500 or 37,750. This is not sloppy design, it's calculated confusion. You will always have leftover VC after a purchase, which creates this nagging feeling that you might as well buy more VC so that you can use up the scrap. This system is engineered with odd numbers to keep you chasing round numbers. Just look at how they changed exchange rates over time. Back in 2K13, $3 got you 10,000 VC, which was enough for a serious upgrade. By 2K17, that same $3 bought you pocket change. The franchise increased VC prices by 35% in just 1 year between 2K13 and 2K14. Now in 2K25, 25,000 VC, which used to be a major purchase, might not even cover some basic accessories. You get a t-shirt with that. They've slowly inflated the virtual economy while keeping real dollar
how the new one looks
steady,
like.
hoping players won't know.
700,000 VC.
Notice their shrinking value. Even the storefront design plays mind games too. You ever
This
notice
is
how
the most popular,
prices
best value
while the
you
real
talking
dollar
about?
equivalent is buried in the menus? That's intentional. When you see 75,000 VC for a build instead of $50, the sticker shock hits way softer. Researchers call this pain for paying reduction. The same reason casinos use chips instead of cash. One study found that people spend up to 30% more when using intermediate currencies such as coins, tickets, or VC versus direct payments. 2K didn't invent this tactic, but they damn for sure weaponized it. It also doesn't help that bundle deals add another layer of confusion. That bonus 20% free VC offer sounds great until you realize those base amounts are arbitrary. There's no standard VC to dollar ratio, so comparing value between these bundles becomes impossible. Players report buying larger packs than needed just because the bonus made them seem like they were better deals, only to end up with thousands of unused VC.
It's crazy because if it always says it's a bonus, but it's like, nigga, it's a bonus all year round. So is it really a bonus?
Or later, like
is it really a bonus?
Make me sick. Leave me alone, please. Hiding in the shadows. Hiding from who you truly are.
No.
You can't escape yourself.
The leftover VC phenomena is textbook behavioral economics. One player tracked his purchases and he found he's accumulated over 8,000 wasted VC across multiple transactions. Money spent solely because he had odd amounts of VC just sitting in his account. The game could let you cash out unused VC or buy exact amounts, but then that would kill the cycle. So instead, those digital pennies create constant pressure to add more. My team takes this further with pack prices that don't align with card value. A single Galaxy Opal card might cost 100,000 VC on the auction house, right? But the packs that contain it sell it for 10,000 VC each. This mismatch means that you're never quite sure what anything is worth, and one of the main reasons I don't fucking play this. But hey, financial reports prove this model works. Player spending per user grew 11 times between 2K13 and 2K17. By 2020, the franchise was pulling in over $1 billion annually from microtransactions alone. These are not organic numbers. They are the result of systems engineered to obscure spending. Even the name VC is a corporate inside joke for those of you unaware. Yeah, it stands for virtual currency, but it also references
visual concepts
for over a century because we give those who do one thing.
Visual Concepts, the studio behind 2K, it's their initials. They literally rebranded their monetization system after themselves. That's how confident they were in fooling you. Now compare this to how other games handle purchases. At least with Fortnite, they show real money prices alongside the V-Bucks. FIFA Ultimate Team displays approximate dollar values for their packs. Now 2K could do the same, but they choose not to because clarity would hurt sales. The less you think about actual dollars, the more you'll actually spend on their game. And the sad part is that players fall for these predictable traps all the time. I'll just buy a $20 bundle will eventually turn into, I might as well get the $50 one with the bonus VC because they keep the math fuzzy. One Reddit user has calculated that upgrading a myplayer to an 85 overall costs $50 in VC in 2K25. But most players don't realize this until after they pay. The game never shows you the full price tag up front. For those of you unaware, the mobile gaming industry pioneered these tactics, but 2K brought them into console sports titles. Those limited time VC sales that pop up after you lose a game, that is straight from a casino's playbook. The way My Team auctions display last bid timers counting down, that is classic urgency triggers. Every element funnels you towards spending without fully realizing the cost of the game. They do this by focusing on giving you what you want, and that is another hit of that dopamine. That moment when the pack shakes before revealing your My Team cards isn't just a cool effect. It's a neurological trigger carefully crafted to hit your brain's pleasure centers. NBA 2K's pack openings operate on these same psychological principles as a slot machine, using variable reward schedules to keep you chasing the next big pull. The game doesn't just sell you digital cards, it sells you the rush of anticipation, calibrated down to the millisecond of the animation timing. Break down any pack opening sequence and you will see the science behind the spectacle. First comes the pack animation itself. It's the glowing edges, the dramatic camera angles, the signature shake before the reveal. These aren't just visual flares, they're dopamine primers. Studies have shown your brain releases more pleasure chemicals during the anticipation than the actual reward itself. 2K exploits this by stretching out the reveal process with unnecessary theatrics. That 3-second delay between the pack opening and the card display, that's not a loading time. That's your nervous system being wound up. And the sound design plays an equally manipulative role as well. Notice how the audio builds as the pack opens. Subtle chimes escalate to a crescendo when rare cards appear. Common cards get generic whoosh sounds, while Galaxy Opals trigger a full orchestra of strings. Your ears learn to recognize these cues before your eyes process the visual, creating a psychological response before you even know what you pulled. That's why some of your favorite content creators' hands be shaking in the videos they make. The anticipation gives that junkie itch. Rarity tiers add another layer of psychological engineering. Cards aren't just good or bad, they're color-coded into a hierarchy that triggers our collector instincts. That pink diamond card might be functionally identical to a ruby one, but the different colors make your brain categorize them as separate must-haves. 2K has progressively amped up these techniques over the years. Just compare 2K17's basic card flips to today's cinematic pack openings, complete with player holograms and arena crowd noises. Each iteration adds more sensory stimuli to strengthen that dopamine response. Recent versions even include a double reveal moment where a card appears to be one tier before it morphs into something better, a psychological trick that's been borrowed from carnival games. Players report that their heart rate spikes during these fake-out reveals, reveals, even though they know it's just an animation. The neurological parallels to gambling are undeniable. MRI studies show similar brain activity patterns between slot machine players and loot box openers, specifically in the brain's reward center. Both activities create what psychologists call intermediate reinforcement. That's when unpredictable rewards trigger compulsive behavior. 2K takes this further by adding visual and auditory feedback that actual casinos cannot replicate. Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Some of your microtransactions in your video games are worse than some of these casino tactics. I mean, the pack odds
because I know some other games do the same shit.
You notice how 2K displays percentages like a 1.5% chance of a Galaxy Opal instead of the actual odds like 1 in 67? That's because big numbers feel more obtainable than actual fractions, even when the math says otherwise. The game also front loads rare pools for new accounts, a common tactic in gacha games to hook players.
Wow.
One data miner found fresh accounts had significantly better pack luck for the first 10 to 15 openings before odds normalized. But that's just the more popular way 2K currently gets their players hooked. I also remember back in the 2K16 days when the game had park cards. For those who don't know, park cards,
I remember those.
Purchase and utilize at any point in a competitive online match.
Those things were so annoying.
Mechanic that fooled sweats and salty people into spending more after
I never bought them shits.
Now I'm old, so I was an adult during 2K16, and I think because some of y'all were younger during those 2K16 days, you see that game through rose-tinted glasses. But I remember not being a big fan because I can't tell you how many park games I lost where I was up a couple points
and then a park card comes out of nowhere.
The team felt like they were about to lose, and they popped a 3-point shooting park card or unstoppable dunk park card, and now they don't miss and we lose. That shit was not.
That was the downfall.
Rewarded poor play, and I'd imagine it tempted many people into purchasing park cards so they didn't get left behind. Since then, those cards have evolved into Gatorade boost, which is another dopamine hit. A lot of times it's like
oh my gosh.
And then you buy a Gatorade boost, and now you can't miss. Gatorade boosts are almost
it boosts your stamina just so you can hit your shot.
Of shooting being RNG based going around. And I can't stress enough that all these things cost VC, and VC costs real world money. VC's role in NBA 2K cannot be overstated. By obscuring real dollar amounts behind virtual currency, the opaque process makes it harder for players to track down how much they're spending, thus they're more inclined to spend outside their budget without noticing. Now, my personal conspiracy, which has nothing to do with anything else discussed in this video, that was all well-researched, real things that are going on, just my personal conspiracy is that even the PC version of 2K is designed to trick people into spending more money. The PC version is last to get updates, it has no crossplay with other platforms, and 2K
it took out crossplay?
Implement anti-cheat into the game, so now you have these weird face hackers running around the park like,
you know, his feet is slow as shit.
And just this past year with 2K25, the dev team finally made the current gen version of 2K available on PC. I can't stress enough that these games are developed on PCs, but the dev team is so lazy, they uploaded the PS4 version to Steam up until this last year. Now,
they did that though.
This on purpose. I mean, the lack of anti-cheat, crossplay, and general game support is to fool you into purchasing the PC version for those who don't know any better. And then when you get frustrated with the PC version because it's so neglected, you go out and you buy it on console again, and they get 2 sales instead of 1. Hell, I'm guilty of this. That's how I came up with this whole conspiracy. The bottom line is that constantly seeking thrills can lead you down a dark path. Games are supposed to be a fun thing we do with our free time. Not a second.
Nah, he cooking though. He cooking though. Can you sue somebody for this? You could have developed all of this.
Job that constantly robs us. So you might be wondering, what can you do to combat these corporations out of nickel and diamond? Don't worry, I'm here to let you know how you can break free.
Don't buy the game. Don't buy the game. Don't buy the game. That's simple. Don't buy the game.
Here's the thing about NBA 2K. You don't have to let the game play you. There are ways to enjoy basketball without getting sucked into the VC vortex, and it starts with setting hard limits. Decide up front how much you're willing to spend each season, whether that's $0 or $20, and then stick to it like it's a hard contract. I did this myself with NBA 2K25. The summer of 2024, when the news for NBA 2K25 first started dropping, I told the boys in a group chat I am buying 1 bundle of VC, and I'm only making 2 builds this year max. If it doesn't work out after that, oh well. we just gonna have to lose. Because the reality is that the average gamer is 35 years old, and I need some of y'all to start acting like it and exercise some self-control. Especially because y'all keep saying you want to see the game improve. The game will never improve if y'all keep spending excessive amounts of money. Y'all didn't listen to my first warning when I told you don't buy it, so here we are. Instead, I'm gonna give you a more easy solution, which is instead of spending thousands of dollars every fucking year on VC, just buy a little $50 bundle, and then after that, leave the fucking VC alone. Because the reality is that y'all sit on y'all YouTube videos, y'all be in Twitter spaces,
copying builds,
streaming, just complaining about VC. Y'all still buy it. You send one message publicly and then do something different in private, and the only thing that matters to these corporations is their profit margin. Yeah, you mad, but you still buying.
You still bought it, yup.
Their power is in the people. Exercise discernment. I encourage everyone to spend more time in the lab instead of spending money. Instead of dropping cash to boost your MyPlayer's 3-point rating, learn your jumper's timing. Master dribble moves that work even with low ball control. There's a whole community of no VC players who compete with base ratings just to prove it's possible. The game wants you to believe attributes are everything.
It just takes a long time. Takes a long time.
Players who actually know how to read defenses and are only in their 80s. Also, try switching up your modes. My career and my team are built to push spending, but my NBA lets you control the franchise without ever seeing a VC prompt. Play Now Online uses real NBA teams, so no one has stat advantages, and even the WNBA modes are refreshingly stripped of microtransactions. Community matters. Join discords or subreddits where players share free ways to earn VC through gameplay tricks. There are entire threads dedicated to finding the fastest my career methods or cheesing my team challenges without buying packs. I've seen forum posts where people refer to themselves as budget ballers, and they share the best methods to grind without spending. When you surround yourself with players who prioritize skill over spending, the social pressure flips. You start feeling proud of your restraint instead of insecure about your gear. The psychological tricks only work if you don't see them coming, but now that you know about the FOMO traps, you can spot them, like the limited time items always dropping right after payday, and then you can adjust accordingly. Recognizing sunken cost fallacy helps you walk away when you've had enough instead of thinking I've spent this much already. Just turn off notifications. Those pop-ups about limited time packs or the season's gonna end soon so you better finish your battle pass are designed to pull you back in. Just mute 2K social media during content drops so you're not bombarded by hype. Turn off noties on them pack opening YouTubers that you follow. The reality is that you can't spend money on anything if you don't know it exists. Ignore enough of the temptation and soon you'll be screaming.
It's stupid.
It's important to understand that NBA 2K's psychological tricks aren't just annoying design choices. They're a calculated revenue machine, with microtransactions now making up 79% of Take-Two's $4.2 billion earnings. That frustration
4.2 bill?
Badges, the pressure to keep up with the it's all engineered to push spending. It's worked so well over the past decade that 2K has begun to implement the same tactics into their wrestling series with the introduction of the Island in WWE.
That was crazy.
25. Now, I don't have any hot takes on the Island. I'm just gonna say
Nike and Jordan, like how
as well as the basketball community when it comes to this VC stuff. Hopefully recognizing these tactics lets you flip the script. You don't have to chase every limited time item or max out your credit card for VC. The real flex isn't having the rarest card. It's enjoying basketball on your terms. Control the game instead of letting it control you. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please remember to hit the like button and also tap the
I did. Man, if you made it to the end of the video, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Y'all hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 1,300 subs. Thank you for everybody that's watching. And I'm going to see y'all next video.